Hey, it's Tim from Booth.Events. Today I'm going to tell you about our update we just released that makes printing even easier. One of my favorite comments on Facebook was someone saying, but hey, printing is already super easy. What did you even change? And I love that. Thank you for that. But yeah, there were some things that we've made easier because it's not the easiest thing, printing. We know that. So it doesn't matter how you're printing. This update makes it easier for everyone. If you're using an AirPrint device like this DNP WCM Plus, or this Aircast Pro, these are both AirPrint devices, or an AirPrint printer like a Canon Selfie, or if you're using a PC running our Print.Events PC app to share your printer, all of those have been greatly improved in this release. And in this video, I'm going to show you a little bit about how that all works. What I'm not going to show you in this video is how to set it all up. We already have other videos for that, but if you have any trouble, just look in the description of this video and I will link to those videos. So that's where to go if you're like, okay, I want to do this, but I don't know how. In this video, I'm just going to show you on the app side, after you've connected everything, how to then add the printer inside the app. So where we're starting from is all of your printers are all connected. The networking is all set up like it needs to be. Everything's all ready to go. And now we're ready to start with the app. So here you can see I've got Print.Events, that's our PC app running on a PC, which is just like one of these guys here. And I've got my iPad. On my iPad, I've got the newest version of the app that's on the App Store. And let's go ahead and launch that event. You see our live sync is syncing all of the stuff we need. So when I launch that event, I can see that I've got printers, and right now printing's enabled, but no printers are added. So let's go ahead and hit that big add button. If I don't want to add the printer, I can still use the old way of showing the iOS pop-up every time I print. If you turn on printing in the actions and you don't add a printer, that's what will happen. But that's not what we want. We want fast background printing. So let's add a printer. And here I can see all of my options. So one of the things, if you're coming from an older version, you notice that I didn't have to pick Print.Events or AirPrint. It's all now just all in the same place, which makes life nice and easy. So I can see that I've got some printers with a red status, and that's because that's correct. I used to have the RX1 connected to that PC, and I don't. So it's warning me, hey, that's not happening. Don't use that printer, or it's not ready. And you can see some new information. Like if I look at that DS40 there, I can see I have 307 media remaining. So that's something new that we added in this version. Now you can see how much paper you've got left right in the app. You don't even have to go to the PC. So let's go ahead and add that one. Now, when I touch that row, now you can see it's expanded all of the options for which papers the Print.Events is offering me and letting me pick one. So instead of showing all of them one by one per row, which can be confusing because then you can have a whole lot of printers showing in the app, right? Now we group them with Print.Events, and when you open the printer, then you see which papers are available. So I have 4x6 media loaded in this printer, so I'm going to choose 4x6. And in a minute, I'll show you the AirPrint version of that. This is the Print.Events version, but right now I'm just showing you the Print.Events version. So right now you can see right in the middle here on the first screen, I've got 307 media remaining, and you can see the paper size as well. It's the same thing if I open the in-event menu. And you'll see that now we ask for the passcode immediately, right when we open the in-event menu. So now you can see we ask for the passcode right when you open the in-event menu, as opposed to when you open it and then try to exit the event. And that's to prevent you from having guests go in and change your camera settings and do stuff that you don't want them to do. Okay, so there's my printer. I can also see here that I have 307 media remaining on that printer. And I can see that the two templates I have assigned to this event are ready to go. So what does that mean? I'm going to tap that little cog icon, that gear icon, and that brings up the settings for this printer. And this isn't new. This is in this particular screen I'm showing here for Print.Events. This is all the same as what it was before, but just showing you that you can say by tapping a template, hey, I don't want this template to be printed. So why is that important? That's important because if you were shooting, say, square images for Instagram and you're shooting 4x6s, your printer probably can't print both at the same time with the paper it has loaded. depends on which printer you have. In which case you can toggle a template off here to say this printer, this paper queue for this printer cannot print this template. All right, let's close that. And now let's go ahead and take an awful photo of me. Let's see, we'll do a Christmassy one. Maybe I'll pick up the iPad so you can see a little less of my keyboard and chin. There we go. Great. Okay, it looks amazing. I'm excited to sit by a fire. That's coming soon at Christmas time, I hope. And now I've got the option to take more or print. That's still the same, so I'm going to hit print. Same thing, I still have the option to choose how many prints I want to do. And those settings, or on the event settings, haven't changed. You can still choose the maximum number of prints per session, the maximum number of prints for the whole event across all of your guests, and you can set up automatic printing, and you can choose whether the share station can print, and you can choose whether the QR code is directly put onto your prints. So you can do all that in the event settings. So I'm just going to hit print here, and boom, done. I don't know if you can hear it, but my printer's already going. It's super, super fast. Okay, that was Print.Events. Now I'm going to disconnect my PC, connect one of my devices. I'm going to connect the Aircast Pro, and I'm going to show you what that one looks like. Okay, so let's have a look at the Aircast Pro and how it works with printers in the app. So first thing I'm going to do, same as the last one for Print.Events I showed you, I'm going to launch the event because printers are added in the event. Again, I'm going to hit the Add Printers button, same as before. And there I can see all the printers on my network. And like I said before, this video isn't covering how to connect your printers, so how to wire them up or connect them to the networks. That's in a different video. And the links to those videos are all in the description for this one as well. Okay, so here I can see the 3 different Aircast printers that I've got. And I've set them up that way with funky names because I've been testing things. Well, let's just go ahead and tap the QW410. So I'm going to tap that, and boom, you can see it just automatically adds into the app. And now I want to show you what I think is the coolest thing about this update. Remember in the existing version, the old version from before this video, when you started the app, you had to reconnect the AirPrint printer every time. Not anymore. Because we now have complete control over the AirPrint stack that we built ourselves, we can immediately reestablish contact and not use the operating system for any of that at all. So now, when you've added the printer, if your network setup is the same and you start the app, it will just work. I want to show you another thing. Can you see how there are 3 buttons there? There's the delete the printer, there's the settings, which you're familiar with, but there's that extra one, that left one. Let's go ahead and tap that. What that is doing is that is detecting that this is an Aircast or WCM Plus or whatever, and it's opening the console directly. So right within the app, I'm actually still in the app right now with a copy of Safari popped in the app on top of it. Now I can see what's going on with my printers. And this is good because I can see, oh look, my QW410 is low on paper, I've got a weirdly renamed printer, which is kind of strange, and I've got a 2x6 setup. Okay, so now I'm going to hit the done button in the top left. So this is a great way of just getting a heads up view of like what my Aircast thinks is reality. And I hit done, great, and I'm back in the app immediately. So if I want to do a print, I can take another terrible picture of me, another terrible picture of me and my keyboard. You must think I have a giant keyboard, but the iPad is kind of propped up against it. All right, and I hit print, and bang. A phenomenally bad photo of me is already printing. I can already hear it going. Sweet. Okay, so that was showing how printers are automatically re-added and automatically connected when you start the app, which is new. And I showed you how to really quickly open the printer console. So for example, if I was worried, like if the prints weren't processing or something wasn't working, and I've got an Aircast or an AirPrint printer, the fastest thing is to hit that button there on that row and open up that console really quickly to see what's going on. So that just makes it really easy because if you've got guided access mode on and you're locked into the app, this still works because it's inside the app. It's not trying to open up out of the app into Safari. And that's an important point. Another thing you'll see is the jobs there. So if I hit the jobs for AirPrint, we show your jobs locally on this iPad app. So pending means it's waiting in this iPad app, meaning our app hasn't been able to send the prints away, hasn't been able to send the prints out yet. That can happen if the printer is busy. So for example, you're printing to a Canon Selfie. Those Canon Selfie printers, they can't do anything more than just print the one thing that's printing now. And of course, prints on the Selfie are slow. So if you're printing, say, 3 or 4 things, they're going to start lining up in our app here. On the completed side, I can see whatever it is that I've printed this session that's actually gone through. So in this case, when I'm connected to an Aircast Pro, when it says completed here, it means sent to the Aircast Pro successfully. Does that mean it printed successfully? Well, no, because if the printer's out of paper, it's going to go here and say it's completed because it's over on the Aircast Pro. And if I'm seeing that prints aren't happening, I then need to open the print console again. Remember that button there? To open that up and find out, okay, well, what's going on? Because the Aircast Pro is the only device that knows that you're out of paper or there's a paper jam or something like that. Okay, that's a whole bunch of features about AirPrint. There's a whole lot more underneath the covers. For example, in this update, we released true round-robin printing. What does that mean? It means that you can connect as many printers as you want from as many different sources. So you could add 2 printers for an Aircast, plus 1 printer from a DNP WCM Plus, plus 3 physical printers on a Print.Events PC, all on the same network, all in the same app. And each time you do a print, it will pick the next one. So it will go through each one. And of course, you can then, in the printer settings, say, oh, I don't want this template to be printed on this printer. And that allows you to configure exactly how your print round-robin queue will go. And what's new in this update is it's truly concurrent. What does that mean? Before this update, we did have round-robin printing, but only one item was spooling at a time, and that was a restriction of iOS. Since we're not using iOS to do our printing anymore, we now have complete control, and we have built true concurrent round-robin spooling, meaning that while one is actually processing to the printer, the next one is too. This is really great for large events where you want to have multiple printers, or if you've got really slow printers that are cheap and you want to have quite a few of those, or you've got really big paper limitations, you need to have 2,000 pieces of paper loaded up because you don't have access to the location for hours, so you connect multiple printers for that. There are all kinds of reasons why you might want this, and now with Booth.Events, it's possible. There's more, but I'm going to cut this video here. I think this is already a lot. If you have any problems printing, please reach out to our support team. We're always happy to help you. We've got a Facebook community group we'd love to hear from you on, and we're looking forward to building even more print improvements in the future. We've got one coming next week. Have a great week. We'll see you next time.